Hi Year 1. In our science this half term we are going to be learning all about materials. Let's have a look in this information book to find out more. Materials are everywhere. Look around. What can you see? There are materials everywhere you look. Things people have made, such as chairs and books, are made of materials. So are natural things, such as rocks, water, and your body. All the objects in this classroom are made of different materials. There are many different types of materials. Wool, glass, wood, and plastic are all materials. And here's a really good fact here. You can usually feel or touch a material. It's basically anything that takes up space. That is a material. How does it feel? Materials might feel rough or smooth, hard or soft. For this guessing game, you will need lots of objects. So this is a game that you could play at home. First of all, you need to put on a blindfold. So you could use a scarf, or you could just cover your eyes, or you could just keep them tightly shut, no peeking. Ask an adult to put objects made of different materials onto a tray in front of you. So for example, your adult might collect a cork, a wooden block, a pebble, a tennis ball, a feather, a plastic spoon, a seashell, a coin, a rubber, some cotton wool, a bit of cheese, a bit of chocolate, tissue paper, a ball of wool. Those are just some ideas there, but obviously your adult might keep it secret from you. Or you might choose them and then you can just guess which one it might be from the selection. And what you have to do is fill the objects with your hands, and as we said, no peeking. Does the object feel smooth or rough, dry or slippery, soft or hard, warm or cold? Can you tell what material that object is made from? And can you guess what object it is just by using your sense of touch? A metal coin is an example of a hard material because it feels hard and cold and you cannot squash it. But cotton wool, however, feels soft and it's easy to squash. So if you want to, pause the video now and you can have a go at this game, or you can save it for later. Where are materials from? Materials come from animals or plants or are taken from the earth. We use materials to make things we need. Things that come from animals. Wool comes from sheep. Cheese is usually made from cow's milk. Seashells are made by sea creatures. Things that come from plants. Wood comes from trees. Paper is made from wood. Cotton also comes from plants. Things that come from the earth. Rocks, metals and minerals come from the earth. Coins are often made from the metals copper and nickel. Materials made by people. Some materials are made by people but using natural things. Glass is made from sand and plastic is made from oil from the earth. Now we've had a chance to think about what materials are, let's go back to having a think about how we can describe materials by thinking about their properties. This can be what they look like, what they feel like. When you did your blindfold game earlier, if you were able to, you might have used words like soft, like cotton wool, or hard, like a rock or a brick. You might have used the word smooth, like a pebble with a regular even surface, or rough, like the bark on the outside of a tree. You might have used the word bumpy if it has a raised, irregular, uneven surface. This could be rough or smooth, like on a shell. When you look at an object, you might see that it is transparent, which means it's see-through. Or it might be opaque, which means it doesn't let any light through it at all. If you were using water with your object, you might talk about if it was absorbent, if it was able to soak water in. Or if it was waterproof, which would mean it would repel the water, not let any water in. Okay, Year 1. Now we've had a chance to think about materials. Let's go and find some materials for sorting. Okay, now I've just come outside into the garden to see if I can find some natural materials. Remember we talked about natural materials are those that come from animals or from plants or from the ground. And look, it's snowing, which is really exciting. Okay, so I've had a little look outside. I have found a feather from a bird. I found a shell that we collected when we went to the beach. I found a very special heart-shaped pebble. Wow, look at that. And I found, a twig, a big old stick from a tree or a big plant here. I found a bit of an old shriveled up leaf that survived from the autumn. And I've also found a little bit of fluff from one of my cats. Okay, let's take these inside with some of the objects I found inside for sorting into their different materials. Year 1, I have had so much fun going on a materials hunt around my house. I've brought in the natural materials that I found outside. Oh, Rainbow's just gone off with his feather. There was a feather there as well. So I've brought in my natural materials that I found outside, those objects made from different natural materials. And then I've had a look inside for some different objects to sort by their materials. Let's have a look at what I found. For objects made from wood, I found a wooden apple, I found a wooden spoon and a wooden candle holder. For objects made from the material metal, I found a metal spoon, a £2 coin, a key and a necklace. For things made from plastic, I found a plastic cup, a plastic spoon and a toy snake. For objects made from glass, I found a drinking glass, a candle holder and a marble. Things made from paper, I found some different books and also a piece of paper that you'll be using in your science. And things made from fabric, I found a fabric watermelon slice, a face mask and one of my sweatshirts. Now when we sort out these objects, we can see that we have our natural objects that come from animals, from the ground or from plants. And then we have our man-made objects that have all been changed by humans into a different material. And this is where it gets interesting because the wood, the piece of wood we found, that is a natural material because it comes from a tree or a large plant. Because it's made from wood, we could put it over here. But we know that these wooden objects have all been changed by humans into a man-made wooden object because they've had chemicals and different processes with them to shape them into the spoon or the candle holder or paint them. So that's a really interesting thing for us to think about. And we'll continue thinking about that over this half term. Well done, Year 1. I hope you had fun with your sorting.